queer. That's right, you're queer. If you're watching this video, yes, you. Not actually. That's the title of the movie we're talking about in this Blu-ray review. Yeah, I really have actually been itching away at getting a chance to watch this movie. This movie came out last year during the holiday season. No, I have 5 theaters in my town, so it's very rare when there's a movie that comes out and I'm not able to see it. This was one of those ones I wasn't able to see it. I don't know why they didn't do a better job pushing this movie. Daniel Craig's in it. You know, I heard some Oscar buzz for a little bit from people who saw it, but then it just kind of really faded away because no one really saw this movie. I'm not sure why A24 went about it this way. It's also kind of crazy. It's from Luca Guadagnino. I think I'm saying that name right. He actually earlier in that year released Challengers, which actually was such a big movie. It got played in IMAX. It didn't do amazing at the box office, but still better than this movie. So, I mean, this movie was never going to be as big as that movie was. That movie had Zendaya, but, you know, I'm not really sure why this movie just kind of got left there. Just to talk a little bit about the movie. This is kind of a movie about Daniel Craig's character, and he's trying to kind of find a connection with somebody, but it's really hard for him. And, you know, this whole exploration of his sexuality and things. It's really not the performance you would expect from someone like Daniel Craig. He is an amazing actor. He really gives it all. It's a very honest and open film with some of the emotions and things it explores. I just really enjoyed it. It was a very visually stunning movie throughout most of it. It just was a really well-crafted movie, and I just thought was really into the emotions and things like that. You know, I think sometimes certain people and audiences are a little bit afraid of movies like this. I mean, it's literally called Queer, and you hear that and you think, well, I'm not gay. And I don't think that's always something you should be afraid of. And I'm not just talking about, like, you know, far-right Republicans who call shit woke all the time. I'm more just talking about, like, you know, just your average Joe who maybe isn't of that sexuality. They're a little bit nervous in movies like this because they think that they have to be of that sexuality to understand it. And that's really not true. Sometimes there are elements of our daily lives that play into films like this, and you can just kind of get something different out of it, even if you're not of that. And I think this is a great example of a film like that. It's really well explored stuff. So, Queer. Yeah, now let's talk about this release. So this is my first time reviewing an A24 release, and I kind of wanted to talk about this because this is a new kind of thing that's going on. So if you don't know, A24 has kind of always done their physical media releases on their own. It's not necessarily a new thing, but the way it used to be is some of the more popular ones would get releases from Lionsgate. Lionsgate would pump out a standard Blu-ray, like, you know, this is an A24 one, but like here's an example of kind of, you get a slipcover and, you know, standard Blu-ray case, standard Blu-ray disc. You know, not an A24 title, but I'm just using this one as an example. So something like that, like it gets a release like that, some of the more popular ones. And then if you were lucky, ones like Everything Everywhere All at Once, some of these other ones, they'll get 4K releases. Most of them just got standard Blu-ray releases. Now, I think that era of stuff was not great for a couple reasons. First of all, the Lionsgate releases had the pro of them is that they were affordable. A new A24 title on Blu-ray was probably like $20, and then it would go on sale on Amazon eventually. It'd be like $15, $12, $10, sometimes $5, and they were very affordable. That's the pro. The con was that you had to be that not all the A24 movies got them, and so you don't have a standard in-store Blu-ray. It doesn't even have to be in-store, but even online, like because you'd have to go to A24's website, pay shipping, and of course, they would charge you more for it. And so it was really kind of a lame deal where half of them would get releases, half of them wouldn't. So in recent years, what A24 has now moved to do is they've moved to just put their releases out themselves, cut out the middleman, no Lionsgate, and they just put them out themselves. And then you just go on Amazon and get them. I think this is a nice change of pace. These releases are really nice. They're kind of like Criterion's in a way, because you open it up here, here's the artwork, and you get a booklet here. Or not a booklet, but you get some art cards and things like that. Sometimes they come with booklets, sometimes they don't. And you get a Blu-ray disc. This is totally a Criterion release. They're actually better than Criterion releases, I think, in some cases, because, Criterion's, I love Criterion's, but a lot of them are weird, odd shapes, and so they're super irritating to put on a shelf. Where this, I don't have this problem. All my releases fit together well. The only ones that don't are the ones with multiple discs. Stick out just a tiny bit, but you barely even notice. So I only have 2 of these releases so far. I definitely want to get more. I think the next one I have pre-order is Friendship. Love that movie, and it's $20 right now for pre-order. But that is something to think about, right, with these movies. These are really great options for these. The con of these releases, though, is now we're getting all the A24 movies, yes. But they're expensive. This was $30. This is just the Blu-ray. Back in the day, like I said with Lionsgate, it'd be like $20, $25, sometimes lower than that. And that's what you pay for this movie. Now I'm paying $30, and yeah, it's a nicer release, I guess. But some of these A24 movies I'm not a huge fan of. I would grab them because maybe I didn't love them, but I'd be down to watch them again and kind of see if I like them more. Well, now I'm a little more hesitant because the price has gone up, Just something to think about. It's not necessarily like, oh shit, this is a terrible thing. Not really. I don't think about it like that, but it is something of note that if you are a fan of the A24 way of stuff, that is something kind of thing. 4Ks are like $40, which I think is not great, because $40 for one movie, I don't care what the packaging is, unless it's something like Arrow Video with those big box editions. There is no way I'd pay him $40 for some of these releases. But the other problem, because this is a kind of more niche boutique that A24 is doing it, if I don't get them right away, I risk them going out of print, which I haven't seen that yet, but it's something I fear a little bit. And I also fear that these aren't going to go on sale very often. But I think the more that these go on sale, we'll probably get to things where Arrow Video will be like, hey, we're doing our own kind of Criterion sale, or Barnes & Noble and stuff. Because, you go to Barnes & Noble and they have those A24 script books. I'm sure this is something they're going to do at some point. So I don't know. Well, let me know what you think of the A24 Blu-ray releases and them doing themselves. I kind of like it. I'm curious where it's going to go. I kind of am surprised that I haven't decided to number these things, but I do think these are really nice additions. I might review more of these. I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of hesitant about buying them because they're expensive, but I do really like them. And if I tend to get more, I tend to get more. It's kind of interesting, too. These are showing up at Walmart's, too. I saw Warfare there the other day. Very interesting choice on where some of these are going as well. Let me know what you think.